What's cracking, fam? All right, so I don't really care much about celebrities and all that kind of crap. In fact, the rumor is that we're watching the fall of Hollywood and all that kind of industry, watching all that crumble. So if that's the case, I'm here for it. That being said, I do like a good story. And when it comes to celebrity stories, it's fun because everybody has an idea of who's involved, right? It's not like my cousin Nene from round the way is like, okay, so everybody has an idea in their head of how this person is or was or could be. So when you hear celebrities telling stories or stories about celebrities, it kind of hits just a little bit different. So we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today. I mean, we're gonna talk about a lot of celebrity stuff, but show you whatever. You know what I'm saying. We're gonna do Prince today. We're gonna talk about Left Eye Lopez. We're gonna talk about Conan O'Brien and Bruce Lee. And if we got time, we'll get to Charlie Sheen too. So we go see how today works out for us. Before we do that, though, of course, as always, head over to daddyflirt.com, radio that lives up to its potential. We're curating radio. See, okay, so this is my thing. It's like don't talk about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about saying that you need to reprogram yourself or whatever. Like I've put together a place where you could literally program yourself. I was doing the Flirt's Choice Radio episode the other day, and this song from Moonchild came on, and it was such an affirmation. She kept saying, "It's all going to be okay," or "It's going to work out fine," or something like that. And it was just a total affirmation on top of a groove. And so that's the whole point that I'm trying to get to as far as changing your vibration and your input. If you change your input, you're going to change your output. And that's what Flirt Radio is about. Okay. So it's not about, being like holier than now or anything. It's just about making sure that what you put in is good for you. All right. So, all that being said, head over to daddyflirt.com. I support my work. In the meantime, let's get into it, right? Okay. So, first celebrity story that let me get my shares. Let's get my share situation. Okay, so y'all didn't see all that, but that took way longer than it was supposed to. But anyway, all right, we're gonna start off with a funny as hell Prince story. You guys know Prince is, well, you don't know, but Prince is probably, if I had a favorite artist, it would be Prince. You know what I'm saying? So this story had me cracking up. Let's check it out.
So this has to be 95, maybe. His like road manager, these guys pick me up. So the guy tells me this story, and he said, Prince.
By the way, that's David Allen Greer over here looking like Black Santa. That's who that is telling this story.
So this has to be 95, maybe. His like road manager, these guys pick me up. So the guy tells me this story, and he said Prince calls him at 3 in the morning. Says, that motherfucking voice is coming from the motherfucking walls. Motherfucker, you better come to my room. So he goes to Prince's room. He knocks on the door. Prince opens it up. 3 in the morning. He has white satin pajamas, white satin do-rag, full perm, makeup, and white satin high heel boots. And he says, dude, what's going on? I told you, man, this motherfucking voice is coming from the motherfucking walls. And so he comes in the room and he says, okay, Prince, what is going on? He said, motherfucker, listen. So they're quiet.
Wait, hold on. This animator is cracking me up because for a second it didn't look like Prince, and then all of a sudden it did again. Who is that? Who is that supposed to be? But then on the next scene, it's gonna be Prince again. Watch.
He says, okay, Prince, what is going on? He said, motherfucker, listen. So they're quiet and they hear this voice
coming from the wall.
A female voice. So he calls the hotel security. They call the police. They do a complete sweep. They find this woman who is in the crawl space behind Prince's bed with a flashlight and a Bible, and she's reading Bible verse to try and convert Prince. So he said, as they were dragging this woman screaming out, Prince is sitting at the table with his legs crossed, and he says, I told you, motherfuckers, there were motherfucking voices coming from the motherfucking walls, but y'all motherfuckers didn't believe.
That's just funny hearing Prince drop the F-bomb like Samuel Jackson. I told y'all, motherfuckers. That cracks me up. And why was somebody trying to get into the thing and read Bible verses in order to convert? Like that's a mindset, right? That's a whole mindset in itself. Yeah, we not look. I'm, sometimes I censor myself because if I really say what I think about everything, I think like I, I might be even more alone than I am now. So yeah, I gotta censor some of this stuff before it comes out. But anyway, yeah, I heard some motherfucking voices coming out the motherfucking walls. Satin boots. Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, that's hilarious to me. I don't know what y'all think, but I think that's funny. Moving right along, we got this story here. I won't say that it's funny, but I think it's really cool. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, R.I.P., looking out for the girls. Check it out.
It was the last song. It was the last one. We thought we were done. The album was done. Yeah. We picked a single. It was time to go. And they called and said, "You're going to Chicago to work with R. Kelly." And we were like, "What?" We heard the record. We hated it.
He was singing on the demo.
She's got a 9 to 5.
I was like, "Ooh,
no." She's got a 9 to 5. He had that fast vibrato too. Yeah. We were like, "Oh no."
I'm not quite sure.
We got to Chicago late at night. Rob was not there.
He didn't like to start recording until midnight. He wasn't there until what time did he show up?
Probably about 6 in the morning.
We waited.
Wait, so y'all in the studio by yourselves till 6 a.m.?
With Lisa.
Lisa was not leaving us.
Right.
She made
Shout out,
yes.
Shout out Lisa.
Shout out
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes. Visionary.
Yeah. She flew up there with us. She stayed that
I don't know
whole
if she knew.
time.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she knew something.
But she was that hands-on.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. She was with us the entire ride of the first album.
I was tired because I don't like recording late at night. So when it was my turn to go in and sing, he had to go in there in the vocal booth and kind of like pump me up a little bit. He was like, "Man, you know, you just got to do it." He said, "I ain't been asleep in 3 days." I went in there and I just sang. I was supposed to say, "Just let him go, what the hell?" And I said, "I'm not going to curse." I said, "I'm not going to say the hell word." And then he said, "Well, just say what the deal." So I said, "Just let him go, what the deal."
Wow.
So, you know.
I know you're tired of her lies. Just let her go, what the deal.
Lisa and I cut those background vocals. We went and started the background vocals before he got there. And so it was like half of it was done. Then when Shamari went in, she went in and cut the lead.
No disrespect to y'all, but think about having Left Eye wait in 1998.
Yeah.
From 12 to 6 in the morning.
Yeah. He did that.
Cause I be going boom like an 808. Be making circles like a figure eight.
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, that song itself is full of entendre, so not wanting to curse on it is okay, right? So, but anyway, I think that's a really cool story about Lisa Left Eye Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't like these are my girls, these are my artists. They said she was with them from 12 to 6. Now, Lisa, having been in the game, knew that was not right, knew it was unprofessional, whatever like that, but she knew she had to get her girls laced with R. Kelly. You see what I'm saying? Like you could put all these like little different aspects into it and just know that yeah, she would have been somebody I would have liked to know, I think. Lisa, yeah, she'd have been down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't do her dirty, you'd have a friend for life, it seemed like to me. So, R.I.P. Lisa Lopez. Anyway, okay, so moving right along, how many of you guys, probably none of y'all, I don't know at this point, ever used to watch the Dukes of Hazzard? The Dukes of Hazzard, okay, so it's got all kind of controversy now because of the Confederate flag and everything. And see, here I am about to go off again. That Confederate flag, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can fact check me on this, but it might take a little time. But the Confederate flag is actually an ancient not ancient, but a Native American symbol, an old Native American symbol that the Confederates adopted. And so by them squashing mention of the Confederate flag, what they're actually doing is squashing mention of the Native Americans. Um, God, we could get into that too, like, where they got the Constitution from. Anyway, moving right along. Anyway, okay, so Sorrell Brooke was Boss Hogg in Dukes of Hazzard, but he was so much more. This reminds me of, oh, you know what? Two things. One, Lisa being down for Black like that reminds me of how she wrote a verse to what's the one, Creep, that was against creeping. So you know what I'm saying? It just gives a little, like, fleshes her out a little bit. Okay, but and also this next guy, Sorrell Brooke, kind of reminds me of the story I did about David McCallum, who is Ducky on what's that show? CS, is it CS? Not CSI. It is it's one of them kind of shows, and they got one in New Orleans, and they got one in, oh my God, what's the name of that show? Ducky. Uh Mark Harmon. I can't remember the name of that show. I know it's not CSI though. That's a different one. Anyway, that's the one with Shazza. Okay, so Lord, I told myself I wanted to talk a little bit more on these things, but I think that I've talked a little bit too much. Anyway, David McCallum, who plays Ducky on the show, bam, I cannot remember the name, also wrote the hook for Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G Thing. That whole wow, wow, wow was written by Ducky. That shit is crazy, right? Well, Sorrell Brooke has a crazy history too. This guy is more than he seemed. Okay, let's go.
As a teenager, he had a flourishing career as a radio actor, known for his impersonations. He was also valedictorian of his high school class and was fluent in 12 languages, including Chinese, Russian, and Korean. He graduated from Columbia University at age 19 and earned a master's degree from Yale at 21. His name was Sorrell Brooke, and before the world knew him as the scheming and corrupt Boss Hogg on the Dukes of Hazzard, he served as a counterintelligence officer in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. His specialty was interrogating captured Korean and Chinese soldiers, reviewing transmissions between China and Korea, and debriefing returned and escaped American prisoners of war. Brooke was also a topography expert, analyzing terrain that was favorable for advancing versus defending, a critical role during the war. "I'm just an ordinary guy from Buffalo," is all he would say about his time in the Army. "Sorrell was the most gracious and humble man I've ever met," said Duke's co-star James Best.
That is crazy, right? You never know what somebody has done in their life and what they've been through and stuff like that. I mean, because Boss Hogg was just this wild and crazy, "I'm gonna get you, Duke boys," with this crazy little accent. And you never knew behind it, old boy was a counterintelligence officer, a topography expert, served in World War II, spoke 8 languages. I mean, that's just incredible. That's super incredible. And I think that's super dope. Okay, so up next, we have a Conan O'Brien story that kind of
If I may bring up,
kind of makes you laugh and cry at the same time. Conan O'Brien is an interesting individual, and this is a very interesting story. Let's give it a check out. Let's give it a check out. What am I talking about? Let's check it out.
if I may bring up a touchy, actual, this is real personal subject for you.
It's okay. I know what it is.
Death in the family.
Yep. My parents passed.
Well, first, let me just say the timeline, because I have it here. I wrote it down last year because the timeline was so good.
Yeah.
So I hear that your dad passes away, and I text you that day or the next day, and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry to hear about your dad's passing, sending love from our family to yours." Mm-hmm. And you wrote, "Thank you, Will. To be honest, I blame Bateman
for the death of my father.
The day after his father dies."
Yeah.
Right? So I wrote, "It's not a terrible theory." And Conan texted me back, "He killed my dad."
Oh my God! My dad, can I say, in fairness, my dad would have loved this.
Okay. So then Bateman, I tell Bateman this, we're doing a thing that day. So the next day, Bateman texts you and he says, "Arnett tells me you're on to me."
Yes.
And Conan texts Bateman and he says, Bateman, do yourself a favor, turn yourself in. 2 days after your dad passes, of course, your mom passed away.
Yeah, which I did not see coming.
Which did not see coming. So I text you 2 days after. I knew you were in Boston. I said, Bateman is asking for your sister's street address. Okay to give. And you were busy that weekend. And like a day and a half later, you texted back, just seeing this now. Fantastic. 625 Boylston Street, apartment 12C. Tell Bateman to make it look like a robbery.
Oh my God.
You know what's weird? I swear to God, this is how I grieve.
That is not weird. That is hilarious. And oh my God, I'm so glad that he had friends around that could help him out through that kind of situation. First off, parents dying 2 days apart. That's got to be like a left and a right, right? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the way that he dealt with it, though, and blaming Justin Bateman is hilarious. And that they all could play along with it. They all got the joke. I guess those are stand-up comics for you. Now, also interesting, again, we talk a lot about how people are compromised and how they this and they're that. They're also humans. You know what I'm saying? They also go through a lot. Not everybody that does everything is everything that you hear about. You see what I'm saying? And that's not to say that I'm vouching for Conan. I don't know this man. I don't vouch for none of these motherfuckers, right? I'm not vouching for him. But I just think that these human sort of moments are very interesting and they can be insightful. And that's why I like sharing them. So next we got Jackie Chan telling a Bruce Lee story. Now it's kind of funny that it worked out this way because Prince is probably one of my favorites and Bruce Lee would be one of my favorites also. See, I like people that change the game. I like people that are, sort of just I like people that change the game. Bob Marley, Bruce Lee, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, here is Jackie Chan's Bruce Lee story. By the way, did you know he was in Enter the Dragon? Let's get it.
I've been hiding for another stunt guy. I'm the last one. Okay, ba 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 ba. You're the last one. Boom, one stick down. Bruce Lee one, then go. I said, okay. Rehearsal, ready, action. When action, Bruce Lee already forget who he is. Then I was behind the camera waiting, my timing. Waiting. Because for one shot, it's not this day like a cut. One shot. Then I comes in, pow! One hit. Then I just see all the stars. Because he really hit me from here. Boom! Then I lie down. I never move. Boom. Even though very hurt. Then I lie down, see Bruce Lee, then he just, then look, turn around, go, then cut. After cut, he just throw the stick, run to me. Oh, Jack, sorry. After he grabbed me, I said, oh, hurt. Because when stunt guy you get hurt, you get more money. Then the same day, they overtime. They need another few stunt guy do it. Then he okay, Jackie, you stay. I think, and that time he do a purpose, let me make more money. In one day, I earned $250 US. That's what a lot was. Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That is a funny story. You see that hit, like he knocked the crap out of Jackie. Jackie didn't mess up the scene or anything. He just went with it. See, this one of those things you can't really mess it. Like if you're an actor or even if you're involved in something like that, it's not even a thought. You're not gonna mess up the scene unless he knocks your eyeball out. You're gonna do that. You're gonna I remember I did a play in like first or second grade after I broke my finger, and nobody could believe I would still want to perform after I broke my finger. And I was like, it really wasn't nothing. What was it? The Three Billy Goats Gruff or something? I don't know. I remember all of it, but I remember that I was the troll in the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and I had a broken finger, and they were all just so amazed that I wanted to do it. And I was just like, So anyway, I totally understand. Like you get whacked in the head, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna mess it up, you know what I'm saying? But when you get it with that welt on the side of your head, And it's nice to know that Bruce ran over to him. He knew he whacked him. And you know what I'm saying? It's a good story. It's a funny story. I made $250 that day, American, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay. All right. Let's get a couple more. I think what's next? Charlie Sheen? Yeah, we got a couple of Charlie Sheen stories. Let's get into it.
Man, Charlie was I'm gonna tell you, the nicest guy. He's one of my best friends to this day. We don't hang out that much, but Charlie let me borrow his Ferrari, man, when I was like, I don't know, 24, something like that. Because
Did you own your own?
No, I didn't have one then. I just asked him because I was like fearless, like, Charlie, let me borrow your Ferrari. He was like, okay, sure. I kept that Ferrari so long, he forgot I had it. He said, you have my Ferrari? I said, I think I do. He said, you want to bring it back? Okay.
Giving him rides in his own Ferrari?
I know, yeah. It's like, this is my car?
You got this, huh?
Oh, Money Talks with Charlie Sheen. That's Charlie Sheen. That was the funniest movie ever, man. Because I would show up late for work and Charlie wouldn't show up at all. They were like, they'd be arguing with me, and then all of a sudden, Charlie ain't even here. What y'all arguing with me for? Find Charlie first.
Okay, now it's funny. I don't remember when I set this aside, but watching it now, my mind just went totally sinister on this one. My mind just went like, ooh, ooh. Okay, first off, we know Charlie Sheen is a pedo rapist, allegedly, because of Lucas and Corey Haim and that whole story. We know that he's a alleged drug crack, you know what I'm saying, doing all that stuff. I mean, he wears fake teeth because his real teeth is so messed up, from things that I'm hearing. So Charlie Sheen is not somebody that I would be thinking, you want to be your best friend. Let's start with that. I don't know that he's been on the Epstein files, though, which is actually interesting. Now, Chris Tucker, though, has been to Epstein Island and flew with Bill Clinton. Again, not the most reputable personality in the world. So as he talks about Charlie Sheen being a nice guy, we don't hang up, and okay, so Charlie was lit, so that's why he gave me a Ferrari. That's why he gave you a Ferrari and didn't know it, because Charlie was lit and on to other things during that time. That's one thing, right? But yeah, on the set of Money Talks, that must have been debauchery.
Oh, Money Talks with Charlie Sheen. That's
Yeah, that must have been just, oof. Yeah. Ooh, okay, yeah. That story hit me a whole different kind of way today. Let's see about the other Charlie Sheen story. Let's see how that one
is. Is it true you lent Chris a Ferrari and he kept it so long he forgot you gave it to him?
I forgot I gave it to him? Yeah, that is true. That is true. It was also, there were so many cars in the driveway back then.
Yeah.
It was cool to have another parking space open, And I just figured, I didn't know really what his backstory was. I was just like, hey man, I'm having a hell of a time in this thing. You want to check it out? And he thought we were going to drive. He thought we were going to drive together. And I was like, I just handed him the keys, He was like, okay, just, I'm like, I don't know, man. Just let me know. Just call, I'll see you in a couple days. And he was like, what? And I got that car at the time. I was the voice of Taco Bell, right? And it was that whole campaign, Make a Run for the Border. I don't know if you remember that one, right?
I'm starved. Make a run for the border. That wouldn't fly too well right now, but go ahead. Yeah, it would.
Right? Damn. Damn. That shit was ahead of its time. Paid me pretty good for, the first few spots. And then I started looking at that car, and after taxes, I was left with exactly what the car cost. So the math made perfect sense, right? Forget other bills. And then I was kind of feeling fancy about, me and Taco Bell. I had a license plate made that said Taco Bell, put it on the damn thing. Driving around in a Taco Bell Ferrari, right? And then they were going to re-up for the next year or 2 years. And if they didn't, they had to give me another bag of dough. And they said, look, we're going in a different direction. And I've already got, I've got the Taco Bell Ferrari. And they said, we're going in a different direction. And that's when they hired the Chihuahua.
You quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah, and now I'm stuck with a Taco Bell Ferrari.
He eventually brought it back.
Oh, he did. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the other half of the story. Still, I guess it's a funny story, I suppose. Again, these are people too, I suppose, but I just don't got no love for Charlie Sheen, so it's hard for me to laugh with him and think he's funny anymore. Even though, he did some great stuff. Him and Ferris Bueller is excellent. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta, I guess, you separate the art from the artist, because That is not my type of person. That's not how I want to end the show today. In fact, we're gonna do another one that's just for that. This is a mystery story. I don't know what's coming up next because I only plan this far ahead. So let's see what we got.
So now you have. I listened to Ludwig van Beethoven. Bum 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 bum. And I thought, play that backwards. Put something to it, and you've got bum 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 bum. That's how I came up with it.
Hang on. Are you telling me
Yes.
that the famous riff of Smoke on the Water is from Beethoven?
It's an interpretation of inversion. If you turn it back and play it back and forth, it's actually Beethoven's Fifth. So I owe him a lot of money.
That is dope. All right. You know, it's kind of funny. I was going to do a show about backwards masking, and this would actually be kind of funny to fit in there because he's just kind of playing it backwards. It makes me want to play it backwards now, but I don't have a record that I can spin on it. But yeah, it makes me want to play it backwards now. How do I get that done? I don't know. But that's actually a very cool story, right? Ritchie Blackmore. So yeah, very, very cool story. That's a way better way to in the episode. You know what I'm saying? So I will catch you on the next one. Log on to, oops, what did I do? There we go. Log on to daddyflirt.com, support the work. Bang with the station. You know, the station's free, by the way. Becoming a member, you get exclusive content. Also, I'll be making some of these episodes that only go on the website. So all that being said, y'all have a good one. Peace, and I'll catch you on the next one.